Hello, I'm doing The Harm of Social Media on Teen Mental Health by Nick Newberry. Imagine waking up and immediately checking your phone and scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat before even getting out of bed. For millions of teens, this isn't unusual. It's just part of daily life. We live in a world where social media connects us instantly, yet more and more people, especially teens, are feeling anxious, lonely, and less confident. I believe social media is harmful to teen mental health. I chose this topic because I see how often people my age struggle with anxiety, low self-esteem, and pressure that comes from constantly being online. Over the last decade, researchers have found growing evidence that heavy social media use can lead to depression, anxiety, and even addiction among teenagers. In this graph to the right, it shows how the rise of self-harm, the blue line, and the rise of suicide, the red line, have gone up as technology has gone up and more children have phones now. Right here, 2001 to 2020. Let's start with the connection between social media use and mental health. According to Yale Medicine, over the last decade, increasing evidence has identified the potential negative impact of social media on adolescents. A research study of American teens ages 12 to 15 found that those who use social media more than 3 hours a day face twice the risk of having negative mental health outcomes, including depression and anxiety symptoms. That's a huge increase in risk. When we scroll through social media, it's easy to fall into a constant comparison and comparing how we look, what we do, or how popular we are. Teens see highlight reels of people's life and feel like they're not measuring up. This constant pressure to appear perfect online leads to emotional exhaustion and sadness. Another way social media is harmful to teens is the constant comparison to people, which leads constant emotional distress. This causes pressure for teens to appear picture perfect online. The second major issue is addiction. The Addiction Center reports that as many as 5 to 10% of Americans meet the criteria for social media addiction today. Social media platforms are designed to keep you hooked on this endless scroll, the likes, and all the notifications all release dopamine, the same chemical our brains release during pleasurable activities. It's what people do. It's what makes people want to keep checking their phone again and again. When teens try to break it, they can experience withdrawal symptoms and feeling anxious, restless, or lonely. This shows that social media doesn't just waste time, it starts to control emotions and focus. It's not just a bad habit, it's a cycle that can be hard to escape. These apps are designed to keep users hooked through a dopamine loop, where every like, comment, or notification gives the brain a small rush of pleasure. Over time, the cycle becomes hard to break, and when people try to spend less time online, they can experience withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, restlessness, and loneliness. And right here's the dopamine cycle of how it's hard to break. The third way social media harms teens' mental health is by lowering self-esteem and damaging body image. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are filled with edited photos, filters, and unrealistic beauty standards. Teens are constantly exposed to perfect images and perfect faces, perfect bodies, perfect lives. But most of these images are not real. Research shows that teens who spend more time on these platforms are more likely to feel dissatisfied with their appearance. Over time, this creates deep insecurity and self-doubt. Instead of helping teens feel connected, social media often leaves them feeling worse about themselves, like they're not good enough. In summary, social media harms teen mental health in three major ways. It increases rate of depression and anxiety, it creates addictive behaviors that are hard to break, and it lowers self-esteem and damages body images. The evidence from Yale Medicine and the Addiction Center clearly shows that these platforms can negatively affect young people's well-being. Social media may seem harmless or fun, but the truth is that it's changing the way teens think, feel, and see themselves. If we want a healthier generation, we need to become more aware of how these apps affect us and make choices that protect our mental health instead of hurting it. So next time you reach for your phone, ask yourself, is this helping me or is this just making me feel worse? Thank you.